I will say using the chargers was a little strange. I guess, I don't know, it's not like a stripper clip.
Now this rifle was of course a giant anti-tank rifle, but the SKS is literally a small version.
This is the 410 that I have that I'm gonna be taking my sons out.
It is removable. It's a spike, what they call a cruciform bayonet, four-sided like a cross.
It's different than most Wing Masters you're ever gonna see. I don't know that it'll be available for sale.
Oh boy, M1 Garand, one of my favorite rifles.
Number 15, M1 Garand, $1,500. The M1 Garand is a semi-auto rifle made of wood and steel, designed for the .30-06 round. It has an internal mag that holds 8 rounds, which is well above the typical capacity of 5. The M1 Garand stock is made of wood and ergonomic, making it a solid and comfortable weapon. Loading the rifle requires careful attention, as the Garand thumb can occur if the thumb is caught between the bolt and chamber. The safety position on the M1 Garand has been criticized, but it is intuitive and well designed. The M1 Garand is heavy, weighing between an AR-15. However, this weight makes recoil manageable, and the balance of the rifle makes it easy to forget about the weight when taking aim. The M1 Garand is also accurate, thanks to its well-built quality materials and the impressive aperture sights. The M1 Garand's historical significance is its service in World War II and the Korean War. The semi-auto battle rifle, which held 8 rounds in its mag, was a reliable workhorse that morphed into the M14 and is still used by the U.S. military today. If you're looking to buy a Garand, consider the military surplus rifles available at the Civilian Marksmanship Program for a reasonable price. Number 14, Chinese Type 53, $500. The Chinese Type 53 rifle, a license-built version of the Soviet M1944 Mosin-Nagant carbine, was introduced for the People's Liberation Army in 1953. It saw limited Chinese service due to its predecessors being replaced by the SKS and AK-47. The Type 53 was used to arm the Chinese People's Militia for 20 years before being replaced in 1982. The Type 53 was favored by Chinese surrogates, particularly the North Vietnamese Army or Viet Cong, and has been used by other insurgents in Africa and Latin America. The Type 53 was produced with Soviet machinery, markings that were removed to hide the origin of rifles for guerrilla groups. The Model 1944 carbine, based on the earlier Mosin-Nagant Model 1938 carbine, was based on the Model 44 but had a folding bayonet. The Model 1944 also featured a hole in the top of the sight's hood, which was retained on later Soviet rifles. The Mosin-Nagant rifle, the longest-serving and most widely used bolt-action rifle of all time, entered service in 1891 and is still used today. At least 37 million were produced in Russia and the Soviet Union, with the basic design being carried over into later models like the Type 53. Type 53s have been used by groups in former Yugoslavia and Peru, among others. The Mosin-Nagant rifle, produced through World War II, was based on the Model 1938 carbine, which introduced a bayonet-less design. This carbine was more popular with troops and was based on the M1944 carbine. The Type 53 rifle featured slots in the stock for sling attachment, eliminating the sound of sling swivels. It had a folding bayonet that locked in place and did not rattle. It has a muzzle heaviness due to the folding bayonet and a small U-shaped rear sight notch. The typical Mosin-Nagant safety is difficult to apply or remove quickly, but it is faster to chamber a round than remove it. The Type 53 recoil is not as onerous as expected, but it is more noticeable than the Model 9130. The Type 53 is interesting as a reminder of the sometimes tenuous relations between the People's Republic of China and the Soviet Union, as well as the weapons supplied to communist insurgents in proxy wars. Number 13. SKS Rifles, $300. The SKS is a 60 to 70-year-old, inexpensive plinking rifle that has gained popularity due to its low cost and inexpensive ammo. The 7.62 by 39mm cartridge is a revolutionary round with reduced recoil and smaller size, making it suitable for hunting applications. Soft point rounds are readily available and should be used instead of surplus full metal jacket rounds. The energy is low, with 2,000 foot-pounds at the muzzle and below 1,000 foot-pounds at 150 yards. The SKS rear sight is solid and fits the rough-and-tumble short-range rifle application well. However, it does not require magnified optics. Some options for improving accuracy and range include a low rear sight mounted red dot, Williams SKS fire sight, thinner colored front sights, or tech sights. If you want to use a magnified optic, a drill and tap mount is recommended. As a hunting platform, the SKS should be left at home or the hunting camp if they rattle. If the safety is spring-loaded, consider modifying it to soften the click as the safety goes off. For those without a heavy jacket or taller individuals, aftermarket stocks or slip-on butt pads can be used. Wearing the rifle in is essential, and a trigger job can be done if needed. Modifications recommended for a hunting SKS include receiver cover scope mounts, detachable mags, muzzle brakes, and minor firing pin scratches on a mil-spec primer cup. The SKS is not a great deer hunting rifle, so a Savage axis is recommended. Quality is all over the board, with some models being made during World War II in developing countries and under varying cost requirements. Number 12. Yugo M48 Mauser, $500. The Mauser M98 was a bolt-action military rifle that was adopted by over 40 nations during the first half of the 20th century. The M1903 design was similar to the M98, with minor modifications for U.S. ordnance. The Model 98 was adopted by Germany as the G98 and later as the K98K, which was the mainstay of the German Army during World War II. Most M98s were produced in 7.92 by 57 mm caliber, although it was manufactured in other calibers as well. Most nations adopted the M98 or one of its variants, including Serbia and Yugoslavia. Variations of Mauser rifles had been produced at the Kragujevac arsenal since the 1920s, contrary to some advertising press that claims that the M48 rifles were produced on captured or Nazi-provided German machinery. In fact, Mauser 98 variants had been in production at Kragujevac on machinery purchased from FN for many years prior to 1948. The buyer of an M48 may be misled by advertising to believe they are purchasing a K98 clone that will accept all Mauser 98 components and can be sporterized using hardware designed for M98 rifles. However, the Kragujevac rifles are legitimate M98 variants and should stand up to a lifetime of civilian service for the collector of military arms and military shooting enthusiast. The M48 is a reasonable buy for collectors and shooters who desire a military Mauser bolt-action rifle. Ammunition is plentiful and cheap, but most surplus ammunition is mildly corrosive. The M48 is not a K98K replica and is not as well finished as an original German Mauser. However, it is an interesting M98 variant that can be fired and enjoyed strictly for its solid military quality. New M48s with accessories and matching numbers are reasonably priced, but used rifles are available in very good to excellent condition. Some used M48s are available with all matching numbers, which may be an alternative for the shooter who wishes to own an M48 but does not wish to spend the cash for an unissued rifle. Number 11. Ohio National Guard Wingmaster 870S, $1,200. The Ohio National Guard 870 is a unique and rare shotgun, known for its bayonet lug and folding stocks. The bayonet lug holds a bayonet, raises it above the barrel, wraps around the mag extension, and acts as a forward sling point. The receiver has an Ohio National Guard inscribed inside, a rare find. The ONG 870 shoots like a dream with a buttery smooth pump action that glides in both directions. It is slightly front-heavy, with a small rubber recoil pad, but the gun recoils as any 12-gauge pump should. The pump is heavily textured and has a bead sight for the intended range. The cylinder bore provides a bit of spread with stock Winchester mil-spec ammo, and the gun can shoot up to 20 yards on a man-sized torso target with Winchester military buckshot. While not suitable for home defense, the ONG 870 is an enjoyable piece of history and a beautiful example of Remington's favorite son. It is currently available on Arms List or Gunbroker for $1,200, with the folding stock available for those interested. Number 10. Italian M91 Carcano Cavalry Rifles, $500. The Carcano is an Italian bolt-action rifle from 1891 through World War II, featuring a Mannlicher-style internal end-block clip that automatically drops out the bottom on the last round. The first models were in 6.5 by 52, then 30 cal for a while, before returning to the 6.5. The 6.5 Carcano is almost futuristic, as it uses a more reasonable cartridge at 1900 feet-pounds of energy. However, the 6.5 Carcano does not use 6.5mm bullets like other 6.5 rifles, and regular 6.5 bullets may not be accurate. The 7.35mm Carcano is similar in size and shape, but doesn't work with modern 30 cal bullets, using a 300 bullet instead. The Carcano is a reasonably priced and better choice for rifles, but its unusual bullet diameter makes it difficult for owners to find bullets. The bent bolt is nicer for the rifle, but the action feels rough and slower than other rifles. The clip system is faster, but has additional points of failure and cannot be topped up when the clip is in the gun. The sights on the Carcano vary depending on the model, with some having adjustable sights that adjust to ridiculous ranges. The Carcano is not competitive as a milsurp match, as the sights are not fine enough for accuracy and the guns themselves are not as accurate as other choices. However, it might do better in a shooting-on-the-move style competition, as the carbine models are handy and short, and the cartridge is not going to beat you up. For hunting, the Carcano is not recommended unless you shoot .264-inch bullets well or find rare .268-inch soft points to reload with. The Carcano is one of the cheapest bolt-action milsurps in Canada, with Mosins, SKS, and sporterized Lee Enfields being more expensive. However, reloading is likely, so consider the cost of a set of reloading dies. Number 9. Hakim and Rashid Rifles, $2,000. The Hakim and Rashid rifles, based on the Swedish Automatikgewehr M42 and chambered in 7.62 by 39mm, were two of the most popular firearms for the 1950s. Egypt, historically not considered a major firearms mecca, was at the forefront of firearm adoption during this time. The Hakim is a copy of the Swedish AG-42B Lungman, while the Rashid is a downsized version of the Hakim but chambered in 7.62 by 39mm. Both guns retain an old-world feel with a true direct impingement gas system, a tilting bolt design, and semi-auto rate of fire. Egypt was also a major firearms mecca during this time, with the British providing the Egyptians with .303 Martini Enfields during their time as a British protectorate. After World War II, Egypt had a surplus of 8mm Mauser ammo and 8mm bolt-action Mausers due to German occupation. In 1951, King Farouk ordered nearly 40,000 FN-49s from Belgium to modernize the army's rifles. In 1952, Colonel Gamal Abdel Nasser staged a coup and wanted Egypt to produce domestic Egyptian small arms with tooling, technical equipment, and advisors from a European nation. The Hakim was a semi-auto direct impingement detachable mag 8mm Mauser stripper clip-fed rifle. Modifications included a redesign for 8mm Mauser, a new muzzle brake, and an adjustable gas block. The supply of 8mm Mauser ammo in Egypt was not consistent enough for a semi-auto rifle with only one gas setting, and the sand and dust of the desert wreaked havoc with the gas settings of small arms. Approximately 70,000 Hakims were produced in the 1950s, with reports ranging from 7,000 to 15,000 imported into the USA. The lower end of the range is likely more accurate. Number 8. K31, $700. The Swiss K31 is a 20th century rifle that has gained popularity due to its unique design, accuracy, and fun-to-shoot nature. Known for its straight pull bolt, beer keg charging handle, and Swiss shield, the K31 is desirable for both shooters and collectors. The K31 has a history of excellent machining and craftsmanship, yielding legendary accuracy. It has been used in the U.S. surplus market in fantastic shape. The stocks in the earlier models are all walnut, and from 1945 forward, the stocks are all beechwood. It fires the 7.5 by 55mm Swiss round, also known as G11, and can fire modern production ammunition. The box mag is self-locking and holds 6 rounds, with waxed cardboard clips available for faster loading. It is available in various sizes, including the 7.5 by 55 Swiss 174-gram SP, which is priced at $17.50 at Lucky Gunner. The K31 rifle, a Swiss military rifle, has been tested for 75 years and has proven to be accurate and reliable. It has a medium felt recoil and is easy to use. The rifle has 2 stage triggers, one ultralight and the other a clear wall. The K31 dark wood and charging handle weigh between 3 and 4 pounds, and the trigger is clean. It has no positive extraction in the design and is heavy at 9 pounds. The ammo is expensive, but the rifle is still a good choice. The K31 Troop Card, a soldier's name, birth year, and location of issue, is a cool feature. Maintenance is important, as most rifles of this age have worn bluing and exposed steel. A complete teardown and deep clean can be done in half an hour. Shopping for a K31 is easy with 7 quick steps: identification, overall condition, serial numbers, production year, extras, troop tags, and price. The most desirable rifles have matching serial numbers on all major parts, and the production year doesn't matter. New to guns, the K31 can be found in good shape without paying extra for rarer models. Troop tags and numbers matching rifles are also available. The price for a numbers matching K31 in solid condition is $500 to $800, double that for rifles with diopter sights. Number 7. Mosin Nagant M9130, $500. The Mosin Nagant rifle, a product of the Russian Empire, was introduced in 1891 as the three-line rifle. Its design was influenced by Sergei Ivanovich Mosin, a Russian engineer and major general in the Russian Imperial Army. The Russian government sought to update their stock of three-line rifles into the M9130, which included simplifications of the receiver, slight adjustments to the sights, and changes in the forestock and barrel bands. The Mosin Nagant caliber is 7.62 by 54 mm R and has been used in almost every theater of war since Europe, Asia, and even the Middle East and Africa. The rifle was first seen in the Russo-Japanese War and has been deployed in every major Soviet-connected conflict since the end of World War II. The rifle is a bolt-action rifle with a 90-degree throw, and its simple controls and components make it a popular choice among collectors. Field stripping is easy, but pricing has increased due to inflation and the availability of the surplus market. Number 6. Swedish Mauser M1896, $500. The Model 1896 rifle in 6.5 by 55 mm was adopted in 1896 for infantry use, replacing the Model 1867 to 1889 Remington rolling block rifle in 8 by 58 mm R Danish Krag. Swedish production under license started in 1898 at Carl Gustaf's, but additional rifles were produced by Mauser during 1899 and 1900 because of delays in shipping additional production machinery from Germany to Sweden. Standard production at Carl Gustaf's continued until 1925, but approximately 18,000 M96 rifles were manufactured by Husqvarna Wapenfabriks AB during World War II for civilian marksmanship training. Mauser produced 40,000 M1896 long rifles between 1899 and 1900. Carl Gustaf Stad's Gevarsfaktory 475,000 M1896 between 1896 and 1932, and Husqvarna Wapenfabriks AB 20,000 M1896 between 1942 and 1944, giving a total of 535,000 M96 long rifles. The M96 rifle used a triangular front sight post and a rear tangent sight with a V-shaped notch. When folded down, the rear sight is graduated from 300 to 600 meters in 100-meter increments. When flipped up, the rear sight graduated from 700 to 2,000 meters. The iron sight's line was matched for the trajectory of 6.5 by 55 mm M94 ball service ammunition loaded with a round-nosed bullet. A rifleman never used a flipped-up position on his own. It was only used for simultaneous fire at ranks of enemies. From 1941 onwards, the introduction of 6.5 by 55 mm M94 ball ammunition loaded with a boat-tailed Spitzer bullet necessitated adapting the iron sight lines with a new M41 rectangular post, and the rear sight element was altered to have a U-shaped notch and match the flatter trajectory of the new service round. Number 5. Nagant M1895 revolver, $100. The Nagant Model 1895 revolver, designed in 1895 for the Russian Tsar, is a 7-shot gas seal revolver chambered in 7.62 by 38R. Despite being out of production since 1950, security personnel worldwide still use it. The pistol's design distinguishes it from other pistols due to its unique cylinder gap and gas seal system. The Nagant cylinder moves forward when the hammer is cocked, closing the gap and creating a seal with the forcing cone. This creates a tight seal, preventing gas leaks and increasing barrel pressure, making the bullet fly faster. The Nagant M1895 is the only revolver that can be suppressed effectively. Despite these mechanical improvements, the trigger pull is not as good as a bolt-action rifle due to the lack of a cylinder gap. In single action, the trigger is crisp and clean, while in double action it turns into a 2-stage monster. The Nagant revolver also has minor issues, such as the cylinder not swinging out of the frame and not having a fixed ejector. This saves space, cost, and production time, but makes getting spent cases out of a gun a tedious process. In terms of home defense or carry pistols, the 7.62 by 38R cartridge is 34% smaller in mass than either a 9mm or 357 Magnum round, travels 13% slower than a 9mm, and around 50% slower than a 357 Magnum. Despite these flaws, the Nagant M1895 is a reliable and accurate revolver. Number 4. Mauser C96, $2,000. The Mauser C96 is a famous German pistol, one of 3 semi-auto handguns. Introduced in 1896, it had excellent accuracy, range, high fire rate, and fast reload. It was one of the earliest semi-auto handguns and was popular among British officers during the Boer War in South Africa. The weapon was chambered in 9mm and known as the Red 9 C96 due to its red number on the grip. After World War I, the Mauser C96 continued to be used in Russia and China, with the latter producing the weapon themselves. The Bolo variant, created in the early 1920s, had a shorter barrel and smaller grips, and was produced in large numbers. During World War II, Germany used the C96 again, mostly issued to second-line troops. The fully automatic Schellenführer variant, meaning rapid fire, was a select-fire version with a detachable mag produced by Mauser from 1932 to 1936. It could fire 900 to 1,000 rounds per minute and was an extremely potent weapon. Around 98,000 were built for export to China and South America. The total number of C96s built is staggering, with Mauser alone building over 1 million, while unlicensed versions were built in China and Spain. The exact total built by the two is unknown due to poor record keeping. Number 3. Smith & Wesson Military and Police, $700. Smith & Wesson is a renowned manufacturer of the pistols, particularly the M2.0 line. The M2.0 line offers competition-grade features and short trigger pulls, unlike the original 9mm 45 ACP models. The M&P 40 S&W is a popular choice among gun enthusiasts due to its versatility and competitive pricing. It comes with 3 high-capacity mags, removable back straps, night sights, and a carrying case. The M&P 40 S&W performs well in range tests, but could benefit from improved grip. The M&P 40 S&W is a solid, dependable gun that can be carried concealed in an inside waistband holster, but could double duty as a CCW weapon. The M&P line continues to prove successful, with the military and police 40 cals proving S&W's commitment to producing durable and effective pistols. Number 2. SR410 Compact Revolver Shotgun, $1,000. Introducing the all-new Sulin Arms SR410 Compact Revolver Shotgun, exclusively from Tactical Imports. This 410 double-action revolver shotgun was specifically designed for the Canadian market to feature a lightweight and compact design in a non-restricted package. Weighing in at just 4.5 pounds and only 24 inches in overall length, this shotgun is small enough to be carried in a pack or in the optionally available leather belt holster. While 410 may seem a little demure to shooters used to 12 gauge, it is still potent cartridge, with 410 slugs containing nearly double the muzzle energy over the standard .357 Magnum. The stock is long enough to be shouldered and features a double-thickness rubber butt pad for shooting comfort. The lightweight and compact dimensions also makes the SR410 a great complement for smaller stature and beginner shooters. The barrel is rated for steel shot and is 9.8 inches in length, threaded for interchangeable chokes with a chamber sized for shells up to 3 inches. Optionally available with Picatinny top rail for attachment of optics. The SR410 features a crisp trigger and a beautiful walnut stock, well endowed with aggressive checkering for a sturdy grip with gloves or in wet conditions. Number 1. Grand Power P1 MK7, $500. Century is the new importer for the Grand Power line of pistols, which are designed for modern convenience and ergonomics. These handguns are made on 4140 steel-reinforced polymer frames, with an integral Picatinny rail and 4 interchangeable back straps, making them a custom-made handgun. The pistols are fully ambidextrous, with slide lock, mag release, and safety functional on both sides of the frame. The barrels are high-quality stainless steel and use a patented rotating lock for smooth range work. The trigger has a short reset for accurate and fast follow-up shots. The slide and steel reinforcement are finished with nitro carburizing for unsurpassed ruggedness. Grand Power pistols have passed incredible torture tests, such as 100,000 rounds without any changes in critical dimensions and 20,000 consecutive rounds without any feeding failures. Attractive, tough, comfortable to use, and lightweight to carry, Grand Power makes a pistol that you will be proud to own for years to come. The P1 MK7 is a shorter, compact version of the K100, using the same MK7 frame and made in the Slovak Republic. It has a shorter slide and barrel, making it perfect for concealed carry. The P1 also comes with 4 interchangeable grip back straps for a comfortable ergonomic grip. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.